Hey, travelers. Welcome again to another episode live, not really live, from a brewery. Today we're at Pitchfork Brewing, and I'm joined by owners Mike and Mike. So, hi, guys.
How you doing?
Thanks for having us here.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
So, it looks like we have a few beers we're going to try today. But before we get into that, you guys are in the midst of relocating.
Yes, we are. We should be breaking ground next week on our new facility. It'll be about 6,000 square feet, which is about triple where we are right now. We will have a new brew system from American Brewing Equipment, which will be a 10-barrel brew house. And we're really excited about going. We're going to have a lot of outdoor space to be able to do events and so on and so forth. So
Awesome. And for the people who might not know, how long have you been at this location?
It'll be 6 years in August that the doors have been open.
Awesome. So, time for an upgrade. As
yeah,
it were.
we've done a lot of test batches, so we're ready to move on.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can get diving into this flight then. Other Mike, what's up first?
So we've got the Kolsch. Kolsch is first. It's a German style ale, fermented a little warmer than you would for most of the beers. Pretty clean and characteristic profile. Not a lot of hop, more of the malt characteristic on it.
Yeah, clarity's nice, which is always good in a Kolsch.
Yeah, it's we don't do any filtration whatsoever, so no fining agents or anything like that. So it's So
Nice.
I'm always happy when they look relatively clean, which is nice. So
Yeah, nice, crisp. Basically, exactly what you want in a Kolsch.
And where do we source the ingredient from on that?
that's all German for that stuff. It's a German yeast and German grains
Awesome.
for that. So
Um,
same thing with the next one for the Maibox.
and you kind of touched on it already, but a Kolsch is kind of a hybrid style, somewhere
Yeah.
in between lager and an ale.
Yep. So that's actually, I use a lager yeast that I stress out a little bit at a little warmer temperatures
Gotcha.
for that characteristic.
Very cool.
A little bit of more of those esters, a little bit of fruit characteristic that you can get from those higher
Almost a
temperatures.
little lemony.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That one we call our cabin time Kolsch, so it's very
Awesome.
very popular in the summer months.
Yeah, light, easy drinking.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. What's next?
Be the Maibach.
Okay. And that's this one?
Yep. Every year, yeah, it's just flipped.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
every year we do one for the traditional Maibach season. I'm happy with this one. They've been pretty good for every year, but I always shoot for that kind of malty candy characteristic that hits you right in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's not a sweet candy, but I get
Yeah,
what you're saying. It's
right.
very much like I don't know how to describe it, almost more of a mouthfeel type flavor.
Yeah,
to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's it finishes real nice and clean, but it's got a lot of that malt characteristic right in the middle of it.
Very cool.
And it usually doesn't last very long when it goes on tap.
Yeah.
Actually, it's probably
think-
going to be gone today.
Yeah, it'll be gone today, so it's
So
a
get
good
here
one.
while you can,
Yeah,
guys.
it's a good one. Yeah. All
Awesome.
right, moving on. We're going up to a new one we just did. It's a pale wheat.
Okay.
So,
Yep. So it's the grain and yeast is American style Hefeweizen or German style Hefeweizen, I should say, and then we mixed in kind of a mixture of if you look at it as like a pale ale meets Hefeweizen, so American pale ale hopping.
Sure.
So there's some Citra. What do we got? Citra Galena
Galena.
and is it Centennial in there?
Centennial in
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Flavor profile wise, how would you compare this to Outwitted?
It would be quite a bit different than the Outwitted's got a Belgian characteristic yeast and a third wheat. This is going to be half wheat, German wheat strain of yeast for this. That goes in there. I chose a little cleaner German yeast just because
Sure.
I didn't want too many phenolics fighting with the hops characteristic. I wanted to get the hop profile on it.
Very cool.
And then so a little more bitterness than you would get out of there, but you still get that,
Right.
some of those Hefeweizen characteristics.
Awesome. Very cool. It's very, very delicious, very clean, very
Yeah, refreshing.
appetizing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one of the things that we just messed around, that was kind of the newer one that we did for the
Right.
Yeah.
We're trying to, do some different things so that when we move to the new facility, we're going to have more tap lines.
Sure.
So we want to be able to expand our mainstays or whatever you want to call them. So we're just kind of messing around with a few things to get us to that point. So
Right.
Yeah, and there'll be some that like the French toast will end up being a regular, one of our regulars. So we'll be able to have a few, straight staples that we keep on all the time, and then the expanding of the tap lines will still allow us to, change up all the styles, kind of like how we do.
So since Mike has been doing it in this location, in about 6 years, he's done about 185 different recipes. So that's kind of our shtick. We're going to continue to do that when we get to the new space to allow for us to be able to have enough room, still expand our mainstays, and then have that nice rotation of different things.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Sounds like a great plan moving
Yeah,
forward.
thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, keeps it fun still too.
Right.
So you're not doing the same thing all the time. So
and you mentioned off camera earlier when we were talking that you're going to be expanding to some more outdoor seating as well.
Yep. We'll have basically a patio that'll be approximately 86 feet long by 14 feet wide, all covered.
Awesome.
So we can kind of control it a little easier when it gets to the cooler months.
Sure.
And we'll have some ceiling fans for the summer months. But yeah, it's going to be nice for us to be able to have that. We'll have a pickup window right outside because we're going to have a kitchen. And
Cool.
we'll have some food going on. I know a little bit about that. Mike knows a little bit about it. So we're going to use that experience and expand the tap room, make it a little more, kind of a one-stop shop.
Sure.
We'll also bring in food trucks, throughout events when we do events in the summer.
Right.
So
Bringing that added flavor of like newness every now
something
and then.
different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something different.
yeah,
And trying to keep it a real hyper local. Trying to
Right.
really utilize all of the things in the area. So.
I think you guys have always been pretty good at that, sourcing your ingredients
Yeah.
locally,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yep.
So
Yep.
awesome.
So we're moving on to probably that's your number one beer here, isn't it? First one.
Yeah, it is. It's been the number one seller
Right.
forever. So that's our pale ale, now called Third Stall Pale Ale.
Okay. Was it called something differently
Yes, it was.
in the past?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It used to be.
We'll get into that another time.
Sounds good. I won't push the issues more.
Yeah.
Well,
One
still
of those,
tastes
one
just
of those
as delicious.
letters showed up in the mail. So
Yeah, we had to do a
we had to
little
make some
adjusting.
adjusting. Yeah.
Right. I think I heard about that at one
Yeah,
point. So
they,
yes.
they had a bigger boat of money.
Right. Well, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Crap.
Anyway.
But yeah, very
So,
clean,
yeah, that
nice
one's-
hop characteristic.
Right. That's always a popular one. When it's not on tap, and usually it is, but sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
We definitely people want it back right
Yeah.
away. So.
Yep.
We hear about it.
It seems still a little bit malt forward on this too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my take on the American Pale Ale has always been you should have a decent amount of malt characteristic that balances out the hops. It should not be entirely, hop forward. I feel like that's what IPAs are for.
Right.
A lot of times in the American Pale Ale style now, I could preach about this forever, but you've lost the malt characteristic and it's all hop forward. And since the hops are all late additions, the IBUs, fit into the American Pale Ale category, but the flavor profile, in my feeling, does not. So.
Gotcha. Well, balance is key, and I think you've nailed it with this one.
All right, moving on. The big
Yeah.
one. We just put it on tap.
I saw this on social media the other day, and I was like, oh, I haven't had this. I've been able to, I think, have it once, and it's always one of those. Belgian triples are one of my favorite styles.
Yeah.
So whenever you guys had it on this list here of your upcoming beers, I'm like, oh, I need to make it back for that. And then you guys would release it on a Thursday, and Saturday would roll around, and it would be gone. So
Yeah,
I think I've only ever had it once before, but
So
looking
this is our
forward to having
rocket
it again.
fuel. It's been it was named that because 1 year it was served early, and I was in protest and said it tastes like rocket fuel still,
Sure.
and so the name kind of stuck. But it is a Belgian style beer that has orange peel, honey, and some sugars added to it. A pretty complex malt bill that goes along with it, but there's also 2 pitches of yeast. So it's a Belgian white strain that goes in first, and then a Trappist high gravity that goes in the end. So the Trappist high gravity helps clean up the beer in the end of it. Also lends a little bit of the tartness characteristic to it. And then the Belgian white gives you some more of that malt complexity
Sure.
to it. You get a little bit of that orange in the flavor in the middle of it. But a lot of Pilsner malt in it. But
Yeah, lots of fruit esters, lots of kind of the I think the the yeast characteristics come out a little bit too. So
Yeah.
very delicious. Definitely a staple Belgian triple
Yeah,
flavor profile.
It's 9.1%. So it was brewed early December.
Okay.
And we're going to do something a little different with it this year. Next Friday, we will be releasing some of this in bottles.
Okay.
We took some and we infused it with oak bourbon barrel staves that were soaked in a little brandy, and we mixed in a little vanilla tea in there also. And
Awesome.
we infused that, and we're going to bottle it and release that next.
That'll
So,
be something to
Yeah.
write home about for
Yeah.
sure.
It is really nice. The brandy characteristic coming off the wood gives it a nice little sweetness in the middle of it.
Probably balances out with
Yeah,
the orange peel.
it
really
does,
nice.
and it
Almost an old fashioned.
yeah, you
Yeah,
take
exactly.
away a little bit of the it takes away a little bit of the tart at the back end of it, so
Okay.
it does kind of it lends a lot to the beer.
Sure.
You know.
And you kind of nailed it with the old-fashioned thing. That was kind of
Right.
what the thought was in the back of the mind. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Try to think on my feet as I can.
And then oatmeal stout.
Oatmeal stout.
I figured we needed at least one dark one in the lineup.
Round it out and bring it home.
Yep. So just an American style dry stout is the base of it, and then a heavy amount of oatmeal that
Okay.
goes in there. So
Yeah, definitely that nice creamy mouthfeel
Yeah.
that you would get from most
yeah,
oatmeal stout.
and I instead of going 100% roasted, I blend it with some chocolate to kind of knock down some
Okay.
of the, the coffee roast,
Sure.
characteristic on the back end of it, but
That's
try
really
to smooth it out a little bit.
That's a really popular one. We do a firkin every Thursday,
Yep.
and we put that one in our firkin, and we usually put it on chocolate
Yeah,
or Whoppers candy.
or something like that.
think I see.
yeah,
you might
we
not be able to see it
poured
on
it.
camera, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
we have a
Whoppers
porter
on
up
there right now.
so it goes over really fast. I mean, we'll put it on Thursday, and by Friday it's usually gone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But
So
the
you
people,
guys-
the people in the know
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
hit it hard, and then we don't get the opportunity
Yeah.
for other people to have it.
Yeah. I would say your Firkin Fridays are what you guys have become
Yeah.
known for.
Yeah.
I would say. So
right.
awesome. Mike, you also mentioned partnering with River Falls. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I was just talking about
Yeah.
earlier. We were talking
Sure.
about the BOD situation. So I don't know, for those of you who haven't done our tour, I kind of elaborate more on that. But in the backside of the brew house, really our only waste product is lightly soiled cleaning water. So what we've been doing since we started is collecting all of our high BOD waste, and Mike actually set us up with the University of River Falls.
Our soil department.
Yeah, where they started taking our BOD waste and using it in, plant propagation and growing stuff. So yeah, it's
So the idea behind it is we have this waste. And if there was a byproduct that we could come up with that would be saleable or not. So we contacted the soils department in River Falls. They came over, collected BOD three times.
it was more than that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they did was they used it out in some little garden sections that they put together to see how it would react with whatever they were corn, whatever they were planting, and they had a really good response on what they saw. They put together a little presentation. They went to Philadelphia and presented it at a conference and got a really, really good response from it. So we're going to continue to do that this summer and then take it to the next level and say, okay, so now we started here, we're going to step it up a little bit, let's see what we can do with it, and we may be able to come up with something that would be beneficial for, because there's a lot of breweries, there's 7,000 in the United States, something's got to be done with that stuff, so if we could come up with a process for it, would be, good
Yeah.
thing for us.
Yeah.
And
Super
it goes
cool.
along with what Mike's been doing since he opened, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we land spread it right now, so it goes on the farm right across from my house. For that, grains go to farmers. We recirculate all of our chilling water. All of our hops get composted, so everything gets reutilized somehow, except for that lightly soiled cleaning water.
sure.
So
As it should be. I
Yeah.
mean, it just makes sense. If you can reuse it, why not?
Yeah.
right, yeah,
And we're going to step up our game, so you're going to have a bigger impact from us, and we want to be able to do something with it, so.
yeah. We're gonna try to work some economizers into the next building to help cool our coolers and things like that too during the winter months.
So,
might as well work with what you got. So.
Yeah.
Right. I'd say that's super admirable. So
Thank you.
good on you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I think we're just about wrapped up. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for
Thanks for
walking me through the lineup here.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming
Some
in.
great beer.
Yeah.
Good luck with the new place.
Thank you.
If you guys haven't been to Pitchfork before, come here before they move, but also look forward to. When are you guys looking at opening?
We're roughly late August, probably early September before we get everything done. We'll see how long. We got timing issue with the some of the equipment's coming in late July, and then
there's always going to be some.
The permitting was
permitting took a little while, but we got that out of the way.
Yeah, we're just about there, so where we can actually do more hands-on stuff.
Awesome.
So.
All right.
Super cool. Well, look forward to that, guys. And in the meantime, just stop on by anytime you want. They're right off the highway. As Landon, me, and everyone else at Taproom Travelers are always fond of saying, you might as well stop.
Yeah, you're going right by.
Exactly. So,
all right, thank you.
From all of us at Taproom Travelers and here at Pitchfork, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, you can click down below where there's some more episodes for you to watch. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on episodes that you do watch. We hope to see you next time.